Be your own hero in the world. Be your own hero in your own life, and be your hero for her. She wants you to feel proud of who you are becoming as a man.
I'm gonna tell you about a woman whose heart is sunshine, whose body burned hot. I'm gonna tell you about a woman who's cold as tundra with some frozen eyes. I can tell by the way she moves.
Welcome to the C-Note Show, everybody. Brought to you by Great Men Move Mountains and greatmenmovemountains.com. It's Friday, 11/01 here, June 26, 2020. And today is our 50th weekday episode, our 10th full week of the C-Note Show. Our theme of this week is Be Your Own Hero. I'm so proud to be here with every man from our tribe, every man that's watching this right now, and every man that's here because he wants to be fucking phenomenal in modern relationship with his woman today. He wants to know how to be that man that is proud of himself, regardless of what happened yesterday, regardless of maybe the shit show that happened last week, regardless of her judgment of you and maybe blaming everything in the world on you right at this moment, right? I've definitely been there. And you know that everything's not your fault. You know, you take 100% responsibility for yourself and your part. And that's why you're here, because you want to learn the tools. You want to learn how to dive into the pool of vulnerability and jump off the bottom, springboard off the bottom with a perspective and a plan with your adventure and your battle in the world so you can get more hugs, kisses, love, and affection in your relationship. And I'm here with the only woman allowed in this show, my partner in crime, my fiance, fellow professional coach, Miss Cynthia Cruz. Hi, Cynthia.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for having me. And I'm unbelievably excited for today, not only because it's the 50th time of sitting across here from you, but I know that there are amazing, amazing stories and journeys on the show right now. And so many gentlemen who said, yeah, I'd be happy, would love to share some insight, wisdom for the men in this tribe on their journey, for men maybe who are just starting their hero's path. So I'm so excited to hear those today.
Yeah, thank you, Cynthia. Exactly. Either you just started this morning or yesterday or this week. Maybe you just heard I love you, but I'm not in love with you. Or you've been on this journey for months or maybe years, like some of our guests that come in here, some of our success stories that come in as well, and other coaches that come in as well. That's what we're here for. And this week, our theme is Be Your Own Hero. Be your own hero in the world. Be your own hero in your own life. And be your hero for her. She wants you to feel proud of who you are becoming as a man. You are here because you want to be your own hero and you want to be the man of her dreams. And we love seeing all you men here already today. We honor you so much. You guys are, of course, why we do this. I wish I had this tribe of men online like this and all the hundreds of men on our forum. We have over 120 men now on our online forum, and every man that's watching this and how needed this work is. So Cynthia and I are so happy to give this for free. This is our heart, and that we believe in heart and business, and this is our heart. Our free stuff on our website is our heart, and we love to do this. So thank you so much for being here, guys. Again, today's our 50th episode. We always start with a quote or a question from the forum. We're going to dive into some deep shit today. It's our 50th episode, and here we do our daily work as men. Our theme of this week, Be Your Own Hero, and today we're highlighting your hero's journey. We're going to highlight some men, some regulars that want to share their inspiration. If you were a man watching this 10 years from now, you know, they want to share with their maybe son 10 years from now, or their brother 10 years from now, or that man that's watching this on YouTube 1 year from now, 10 years from now, and he's thinking, good God, what is this about? Am I the only one in the world that's going through this? I feel like I'm in the abyss. I feel like I'm in the black hole of my life, and it feels like everything has been thrown out the back door and into the alleyway, the gutter, the abyss of my relationship is like bleeding on the ground in the alley. Am I the only one? So that's what we're here to do, is unveil that, no, you're not the only one. We're here to talk about the 7 pieces of a woman's pie. We're talking about inspiration and ideas today, our heroic transformation as men. That's why we're here. And we all have a story, and we want a story that offers us purpose. So Cynthia, I'm going to jump into our post from the forum today, and this has to do with no contact. And I'd love for you to jump in and really fast share with the man watching this, or share with those that are here that aren't on the forum regularly, what is the support like within the private Facebook group, guys? Like, what is the anonymous, if you like, support available within our chat and in private chat? Like, this is why you guys are here. So Cynthia, tell us your feeling and your vibe as a woman because my goal is that in a generation from now, every woman is going to know about this kind of work and want their man to be in this work. And every man is going to want their brother and their friend to be in this work as well, because this is how we have tribe as a man. So share with us what it feels like in our forum and in the chat amongst these guys, please.
Oh my gosh. I think the thing that hits me the most powerfully is the strength and the holding of other men up. I will have a gift of getting to hear about a gentleman's story, and if he's going through a really tough time, and then before I know it, he is posting on the forum, lifting up another gentleman. And that kind of gracious gratitude, strength of will, and it makes me feel like I'm standing on the edge of almost like an adventurous, a battlefield, a journey, and watching these incredible men and watching you always reaching down with a hand for someone else, always moving forward, always keeping vision for each other. And that fills me with so much gratitude and just pride to be a woman in your presence, and thoroughly excited by getting to touch into what this incredible energy of masculinity truly is.
Thank you, Cynthia. Yeah, I absolutely love these men as well. Randy in the chat already said, congrats on the 50th show. It's been amazing. Thank you, Randy. First of all, thank you so much. And you said, you divorced in 2001, and all you had for advice were your own emotions and your lawyer to guide you. And your wife had already grieved, and you didn't have anyone to help you. And I was there in 2015. That's exactly how I felt. And you said it was painful, and you say a show is amazing. Thank you so much. And yeah, you wish you had it back then. And Randy, you're so welcome. You're very welcome. Yeah, like I said, I didn't have this in 2015. I thought I was the only man that was going through shit. I thought I was the only man who saw another guy's texts on her phone. I thought I was the only guy that fucking had his guts eviscerated out in front of him and felt like, okay, now I have to show up to work the next day. I've slept for 2 hours, 30 minutes at a time. And now I got to show up to work the next day. And I'm so happy to be here for guys that maybe you're on your lunch break, or maybe you're in Europe and it's the evening right now, like Ian, or maybe it's tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. like Patrick, who's been here every single day for our show over the last 50 episodes and last 10 weeks. You guys are so phenomenal. And men from all around the world love you guys. Jason and Joseph and Jack, Pat, Kevin, Patrick, Randy, Rob, Roger, and Walters and Dennis, of course, Ian and Dave and Brett. You guys are phenomenal. Thank you so much. So I want to share this post from the forum. It's a tough question, and I'm sharing this particular one. Cynthia and I talked about this, that there was amazing response to the man last night. And Cynthia, I want to brag a little bit. So this man who posted this put this post within 2 other men's groups as well, 2 other men's forums, which I'm a part of as well, and many of us here are part of different groups. If I'm saying this correctly, as of last night, our group is the only one that had responses to this exact question. And there was multitude of responses, and a man had a phenomenal multi-part response to this post. I don't want to say the names if they don't want me to share them. And so I'm so proud of the men here, like kicking ass and swooping in and giving advice and giving thoughts from their own point of view, their own stories to help this man. So I'm going to open up with this question, and then we're going to bounce into the pool. We're going to jump into the pool and bounce off the bottom. He says, tell me, has anyone done no contact, and how did you come out of it? I'm in a no contact period with my separated wife, and it ends in a week. I can already feel a little anxiety creeping in. I have absolutely no idea where she is at with things. We ended after a long period of toxicity, and last communications were very strained. I know my focus needs to be in my own lane. I won't initiate contact until she does. There is much I've learned since we've been separated. My aim is to know my own boundaries, suspend judgment, listen, and speak from a place of kindness and strength. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't wondering what the future holds. So I posted a couple of response questions to him to try to open him up a little bit more. And there was some phenomenal response later on. Some of my questions were, what does he want from this chapter in life? Right? He seems to be very worried about what's going to happen with her, and he's wondering about her. He says, my aim is to know my own boundaries, to suspend judgment, and to listen and speak from a place of kindness and strength. So I'm a little concerned for this man that he doesn't already know his boundaries before no contact is about to end. He doesn't seem to really know what he wants. He doesn't seem to have a solid grasp of his nuts. Hold on to your nuts, your values, like the book from Wayne Levine, Hold On to Your Nuts. So I'm a little concerned for him. And then men in our forum here swooped in and gave him phenomenal grounding and support and their thoughts. And I'm going to share that a little bit later in the show. I also have 4 other clips to pull from. One from John Wineland, one from Jordan Peterson, one from Mark Groves. I've got some awesome stuff lined up. I have quotes from 2 different books. I always have more than we can get to. So let's see what's going to be appropriate today, because I love to pull what's pertinent. But let's start with some comedy, because we're going to dive into the shit.
Hi. Just got to send an email and then I'll be right with you.
So Google was a man. Yeah, Google was a guy.
Oh, you again.
Is hula hoop a sport?
I don't think...
Can owls walk?
Can owls walk?
Is Dilbert Jewish? Recipe using only crackers.
Facebook.
Lazy.
Directions to downtown.
Well, it's going to be 35 minutes unless you use Waze.
Get off the highway! Now! Now! Now!
Selena
Gomez
Gomez.
feet.
Taylor Swift.
Swift feet.
Katy
Perry
Perry.
feet.
What is wrong with people?
What happens if plant sesame seed?
Oriental rug, politically correct.
How to become astronaut.
Bad news.
How to work for NASA.
Sorry.
Planetarium jobs.
Nope.
Planetarium volunteers. Help wanted laser tag.
Now we're talking.
Dad from the nanny dead.
Now cut across 4 lanes of traffic. Mayonnaise as butter substitute.
Facebook.
You know, you could just...
Google Wave, what happened?
We killed it.
Google Glass, what happened?
We killed it.
Google Car.
No. This is going to be amazing, actually.
Okay to drink expired milk? No. What happens if drank expired milk?
Oh my God, why did you ask me in the first place?
Paul Walker car crash.
Really sad.
Pics.
Red light cameras everywhere.
Freaking them out.
Racist if only like California rules?
Age of consent, California.
Facebook.
It is right there! You could just...
Well, that is it for the day.
Died from the nanny.
Dead? Seriously?
And I love the MapQuest guy or whatever the map help was, where he's yelling at the dude's face, now turn, now go across 4 lanes of traffic. And at the end, if Google goes down, the world's gonna burn. God, hopefully not, man. Well, yesterday, was it 2 days ago, our internet went down in the morning and we're like sweating it. Are we gonna have to go to a park and do some kind of like hotspot or, oh my God, it's just crazy. It's crazy when things go down, guys. Oh my gosh. Cynthia, I'd love for you to honor the chat. There's like 10 posts in the chat. If you would go ahead and honor the chat for us, I'd appreciate it. I want to get into the responses to this man, this phenomenal response. I'm going to break it up of this gentleman asking about no contact. But Cynthia, if you could honor the chat, I'd appreciate it.
Sure. Well, Kevin, thank you. You said congratulations on 50 shows. Thank you. This is a commitment. It is the most wonderful commitment I've ever had. So thank you so much. Brett was saying, I was the only one who thought his wife left suddenly at the time. It's a common feeling. Roger's here, and Roger said, the biggest thing I see in this community is hope. It makes me realize I can overcome this, and there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Brett says, I find hope here. Being here uplifts me. Ian said, love you, what you're doing. And Ruben's at the beach listening in.
Oh, nice. Ruben at the beach. Love you guys so much. Oh my gosh. All right, let's dive into the shit. Let's dive and show the responses that I thought were so amazing for this man asking about no contact. I found this picture of a line. I'm like, this is our forum. This is our forum. If it represents it in a picture right here, it's balls. So the response, first, recognize you're not going to fix anything right now, and you're not going to fix it by talking about it. So when she comes back from no contact, right, and this man is asking about his boundaries and what he wants, and this gentleman is speaking from experience saying that you're not going to fix anything immediately, and you're not going to fix it by talking. Okay, you're not going to fix it by talking about it. You can't just say, okay, had your space, are we all good now? That's what I want to just pause there for a second. So Cynthia, if I'm a man and we just did no contact, and I said, okay, we're done with no contact, are you all good now? Is everything fixed? How would that go over for a woman, would you guess?
Oh, you know that thing where women like will keep talking about the sink full of dirty dishes if the dishes are still there and we haven't gone back in and washed them, that she will always bring with her emotional world, the things that have been hurt in the past, the thing that she's still processing. And so, no contact can kind of be a relief around the pressure cooker of things, but what she's been processing is still there. And we as women especially, hold on to things until we do feel understood, until we have processed it.
Yeah. So as a man, you might think, okay, I checked that box, but yeah, all of us here know. If you're watching the show, if you're on the show, you're like, yeah, dude, that doesn't fix it. He goes on to say, it will take time and will take consistent actions, not trying to convince her with words. I set rules for myself that I wouldn't bring up anything heavy about the relationship for 3 months, for 90 days. My own rule for myself here, he says, gave her the space she needed, but allowed us to start reconnecting in a healthy manner. I texted and would call every few days, but this gradually got bumped up to nearly daily communication between us, but I kept it casual and flirtatious. Most importantly, I started doing things for myself and would share photos and updates of progress I was making in my personal and professional life. I did this for me, but she got to see me upgrade my life and make the improvements in my life she was yearning for me to make before our separation. This is like a man that I'm coaching out of Taiwan. When I coach him at 7 p.m. here and it's 9 a.m. the next morning on his way to work, he stops on his way to work and we do coaching. This man in Taiwan, he's sending picture texts to his wife twice a week, and he's also initiating the staircase of intimacy. So just the first couple stairs of the staircase of intimacy, he's holding her in high regard. He's asking her for a hug, in which case he basically walks over and says, give me a hug. And he started off with more of a side hug, and he's not trying to grab her ass or anything like that, guys, right? It's like, let's honor the stairs of intimacy. They went from nothing. They went from zero connection, zero contact, zero intimacy, nothing for 8 months. And now they're hugging. She's looking into his eyes in these experiments I'm having him doing, these connecting experiments. They're holding hands. She's hugging him every morning. The hugs start to become more intimate now. He has his hand on her lower back, and she's hugging him in return now. I mean, just these small steps build on each other, but it does take time. Just like this man is saying that it takes time and photos and updates of his own life to share with her, not because you're trying to win brownie points, not because you're trying to put it into her face, but this is a man and woman who want to reconnect, okay? If she does not want any contact, then you're not going to do this, guys. If she doesn't want any contact, you're not going to try to force pictures in her face, right? So Cynthia, talk with me back. So this man here is sharing photos. They want to try to build together. So you might be in a spot where you're separated, but she is hoping things grow. Okay, a lot of men here are in that spot where she's really uncertain, kind of like limbo land space. I was in limbo land for months and months in 2015, where we're not sure how much we should be reaching out. So how can we know as a man if we're in that limbo space? So there's a man watching this, or there's a man here today where he's not sure if he should continue these connections. Because sometimes we see that she doesn't act well, she doesn't like it, or she just ghosts you or doesn't respond at all. And then it seems like 3 days later, she comes back around and she's kind of talkative and more friendly again and wanting to connect again. And it's this big ebb and flow that us men are confused by. So if a man is putting these pictures out there, if he's doing fun emojis and trying to just connect and not talk about anything heavy, but she really has these ups and downs, like she seems really angry one day and then 3 days later she seems to want the connection. How can we understand what's going on there with her, please?
Sure. Well, I'd love to share, and then it would be amazing to hear from some of the men here that I know have gone through very similar things and found some incredible wisdom and insights through that experience. When that limbo state is there, I mean, it's the opposite of certainty, right? And so requires a lot of strength and courage and heroism to be in that space and to not be trying to fix everything in the moment. So a woman, when she's like pushing and pulling like that, that's her really responding to your energy. And as you are owning more and more of what you want, your vision, who you are, she's going to gravitate toward that, just the masculinity in you. And it's like a powerful magnet. And so she's probably feeling you moving into yourself, and then she maybe is struggling to like, no, I needed to have this form and identity for myself, or she's leaning into you and then she feels like, ooh, but maybe things are still the same. So regardless of where the push and pull ultimately ends up, please know that you just tapping into who you are, what you're wanting, and claiming yourself is an astronomical pull on women in your life, women who are in romantic relationship with you or in other ways.
Thank you. Yes, I'd like to open it up to men that want to share some insight that they've had over this chapter in their life, or their inspiration of what they want to share with either their future selves or another man that's going to see this, or their son, or, what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind with this chapter in your life? So you can raise your hand or you can unmute yourself. Yeah, Roger, go for it.
Yeah. I was going to say that, probably the biggest thing that's helped me, and it came through a combination of talking to you and Sino and some of the readings, is that, one of the books said, even if it's not your fault, it's your fault. Basically it's, you can go back and forth all you want with, okay, she's to blame for this part or that part. But as the masculine in the relationship, it's really incumbent upon you to solve the problem. And that's how you lead. I mean, I know it sounds sexist, so sorry, but it is what it is. And once you realize that, okay, one way or another, you're going to have to be the solution. I think that really, on the one hand, it's a little bit disheartening because the little boy in you wants to be able to blame her and lash out and be like, why is she being such a bitch and all this? And all that may or may not be true, but it's also, at the same time, it's empowering because it makes you feel like the whole issue, or at least most of the issue, is in your hands to solve.
Yeah, I love that. Roger, you feel so like grounded and fucking ready today, man. I don't know if it's the bank vault behind you.
Yeah, you can see I'm hauling out bars today.
Yeah. I love it. Hey, thanks for coming on, Roger. I love that. And I'll add that we can take charge of fixing our own shit, our own goals. Like me in 2015, I didn't know what my own mission was in life outside of just hoping to please her and kind of stepping to work every day. Right. So is that what you found as well? What have you found internally for your own self that you've really led into the world?
I think it's a work in progress, because I'm like 2 months in on the 6-month cycle. So, give me time. But by the same token, I think you need to lead your own relationship with the same aplomb and vigor that I think a lot of these other guys, including myself, probably lead other elements of their life with. And it all goes together too, because you bring that energy and that direction into your relationship, but you also learn on the outside that maybe there are other elements of your life that you need to take charge of as well and really work to improve yourself. So it's, you know, it's kind of a big circle of life, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Completely agree. 1000%. Roger. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it, man. Good to see you.
Ooh, good to see you. Good to see
Yeah,
you.
dude. So two other men have raised their hand. Thank you, Roger. I'm going to press pause on you. So Jason first, and then we'll do Dennis. So Jason, come on in. Are you able to talk?
Yeah, how's it going?
Hey, man, good. Go for it.
So great words, Roger. I mean, I second everything that he said, and I'll tell, you know, for the men on here just starting, or the future ones that see this, the biggest milestone, the game changer for me, was accepting the reality of what just happened, and that what version 1.0 of my life was over. And 2.0 was undefined, and that uncertainty and that inability to see where you're going in life is really scary. And, you know, I lost 25 pounds and didn't sleep for 6 weeks, and until the light bulb went off. And then one day something snapped. It snapped because I started paying attention to you guys and Steve and Tim and really listening and watching it over and over. And it's not complex stuff, but it's impossible to grasp until you accept that reality is the life that you have now, and that you need to, and then start working on you. And then it gets really complex because you've lost your nuts and you don't know where you're going and your mission and everything. And so that's the work that I'm now focused on with you guys and trying to stay connected and stay motivated. But, you know, the big thing for me was that disconnection and giving her the space. And Cynthia talks about it all the time. And so when I stopped reaching out and then I acknowledged that I was part of what was making her unhappy, she came back to me and started re-engaging me. And now we talk every day. She comes over multiple times a week, and we're taking it really slow, but we're talking again because I stopped to work on myself. So those are the big things that I've gotten out of the program so far.
I love it. Thank you so much, Jason. Cynthia, I want to bounce it off. It feels like what Jason was saying is the metaphor that we talked about, you and I, this morning in prepping for the show, which is the squeezing out our own sponge, like our own sponge of shit and emotions and disappointments and the story of what we thought we were going to have in our life, you know, all that sorrow, let's say. And Jason, like you were saying, the acceptance of all those things fills up our sponge, our emotional sponge. And it's our responsibility, not hers, right? It's our responsibility to squeeze out that sponge in healthy ways. So Cynthia, give us some feedback on, you know, Roger and Jason thus far. And then we have some other men who want to share as well, please.
Well, I've just been, so I'm struck by the nature of journey, right? Because none of us are like always in the perfect, you know, we've climbed to the top of the mountain and now everything's wonderful. Like, I know each of us are on a journey, and the power I just felt from both Roger and Jason, and the strength of where they are at, and how what you both said reaches out and connects to other men. It's very humbling. And I truly believe wherever you are on the journey, whether you feel like the summit is almost there, or if it's like, there's one gentleman on the call, and he and I have talked about sometimes change feels like it's moving at a glacial pace. There's still so much strength and a gift that you can give others just as you are learning and reckoning and growing. And I just thank you so much for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I hope you guys realize. And I want you to hear what Cynthia just said is, even if you're only 2 steps ahead of the next man whose face is like still in the mud and fucking in free fall, you can help that man forward the couple of steps that you have already achieved. And that's what this tribe is about. It's about moving forward together, that phalanx of Spartan warriors as we move forward in the world, right? You guys are so awesome. Jason, thank you so much. I appreciate it, bud. So yeah, Dennis, come on in, please. Can you unmute yourself?
Hey, Jeff, how are you? Hello,
Hey,
Cynthia.
good. Go for it. Hey, you wearing the Great Man Move Mountains Speedo right now? All you got on is a Speedo. We talked about that before the show.
No, I got a pair of shorts on.
All right,
I'm at the beach.
Okay.
I'm at my beach house. I'm enjoying life.
Go for it.
My story is different. My story is different than most of the guys here. I didn't come to save my marriage. Okay, my story is I came to figure out what I did wrong in my prior relationship and what I needed to correct here. I'm not saying if I would have found this 5, 6, 7 years ago that I probably would have been able to save my marriage. Probably not. But the other side of the equation is where I came to look at it as what I did not want to do with the relationship I have now.
Yeah.
And to me, that was the greatest gift that I got from this. Like I said, I don't know if this would have saved my marriage if I would have found it 5 years ago. But by the time I got here, I was already out of the marriage.
Yeah, I love what you're saying. It feels like you came here to like save yourself and also save your future self from repeating the same mistakes.
Yes, that's it. Everybody talks about 0.10 and then 0.20. I had made a decision that 0.20 was starting with or without, well, my soon-to-be ex, but I was never going to go back to the way I was before.
Love it.
And that was the main thing that I came here to do as a journey. And Cynthia and you have helped me realize that I didn't lose my masculinity. I just didn't understand women.
Oh man, we got to quote Dennis. I didn't lose my masculinity. I just didn't understand women. Fuck yeah, that's so good. That's so good.
Well, you're as a lawyer, you're always outcome oriented. And like I told Cynthia a couple days ago, it has started to rub off on my daughter. Okay. I drew boundaries and I did things with my daughter that I test from the stuff that I learned. And my daughter now has done a 180-degree turnaround.
Nice.
That isn't bad. Mom, what mom is doing is bad. What dad did is, and look, I'm not trying to get an advantage with my daughter, but it's nice to see my daughter respecting my boundaries and taking it to stride in her relationship with her boyfriend.
Oh, I love it. I'm going to press pause for a second here, Dennis. Thank you so much. That's absolutely phenomenal. So cool. Cynthia, do you have a response for Dennis? How does he feel compared to, when we first saw him on the show, please?
Well, I'm what you just said about your daughter now bringing these relationship elements into her partnerships is just talk about legacy, Dennis. And talk about being able to. You just epitomized to me the magic of how things can shift and change. When we are taking the steps that are appropriate in that situation. I mean, you just totally course corrected your daughter's life, and I'm incredibly grateful for that. And I'm incredibly grateful to feel the energy of who you are now. And it's just this stable, centered, you are inviting into you the feminine presences in your life. Like you are the tree and the rock, and your arms are like, all right, here I am. And, and you're even like, here I am, come and get it. And I love that.
Oh my gosh. So cool. Yeah. In our coaching, we never promise, of course, that to save the marriage, right? But we do promise you, we're going to save you. We're going to help you save you among this tribe of other men. And that's the precursor for version 2.0 in your current relationship, in your current marriage, or the next relationship. And that's what I experienced as well. I reattracted my ex, and then I decided not to get back with her. That's the super short version of my story you guys have heard on the show before. And so, yeah, I mean, man, that was a really tough choice as well. And that's a longer story for another time that I've shared in pieces on this show. So Dennis, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Walters, yeah, you got your hand up. Please come in. Share with us what you'd like. Yeah, please.
Hello, guys. No, I just wanted to pick up on what I think Roger and Jason was saying, that yeah, I mean, what you guys are doing, it's absolutely phenomenal. And I certainly look forward to joining this call almost every day. So it's one of the things on my list that I really, if I'm having a tough day, I just look forward to it. So it's great. And also the mantra about really focusing on ourselves and leading the relationship in the ways that we believe is the right way. And that certainly makes a difference. It makes a huge difference. And in my case, it's certainly making a huge difference. And being that outcome independent, it's making a huge difference. And where I seem to struggle, and I would like some input on, is where it's got to a point where my wife is in a situation where she is very well. In the past, she was previously very good at telling me what she doesn't like and what she doesn't want. Now it comes to a point where she kind of seems like she's seen the changes. She wants to come closer, but she doesn't know how to do it. She doesn't seem to be able to open up and say what she would like. And we're kind of in this position at the same time, because she's been very clear with what she doesn't want. I'm also not wanting to push to a certain level where it would be like going back to the previous situation.
Yeah, Walter, I'm gonna press pause on you right there. I'm gonna pause right there. I know exactly what you're meaning, that she seems to be more open. She seems to be more present. She's liking you've gone through the phase of stop fucking up, right? I've got this here. Sounds like you've really gone through the phase of stop fucking up, and you've been growing yourself. And now you're not quite sure how to lead into asking for what you want, or leading into what you want, and leading as a man in the relationship. So I'm going to ask a rhetorical question, then I'm going to share this John Wineland clip, because it talks exactly about this, Walters. So if I were you, I'd ask, well, what do I want? What do I know from this work thus far, right? Because I'm sure you could answer that question. It's just a matter of your confidence or knowing how to do it, the emotional confidence or the behavioral confidence. You know what you should do, right? But you're not sure how to move forward, or if you're not sure what she wants. So let me share this 90-second, it's less than 2 minutes, clip from John Wineland right now, entitled What Women Crave. She's giving you the challenge that the world wants from you. Women crave. She's giving you the challenge that the world wants from you. Here we go.
You occupy the same place in her brain as her caregiver, which is why you trigger her so badly. So you would not only heal her, but you would expand your capacity. If he was an imperturbable masculine presence, would you feel that the world would be a better place? Right. If he showed what he showed here. Right. So here's the fucking beauty. She's giving you the challenge that the world wants from you. Yay! How cool is that? Fuck yeah! And you just did it beautifully. So it's not like you can't do it. It's not like you can't do it, because you just did it really nicely. I mean, you were grounded, your heart, the other women were like, whoo! Surprised the pennies weren't thrown up here. You actually grounded and opened your heart and held it for her beautifully. Now, the part of you that is perturbable, the perturbable part of you will do what? Will make it your fault, all your fault, will close in, will go into your head and strategize. Does this sound right? Okay. So the unperturbable part of you may not take as much shit from her, but you will love her so much. You may not let her just rage at you. You may not let her withhold her heart from you. Part of why she feels unsafe is because you've let her have to deal with this on her own for so long. Because you have not been a demand for what she just showed you. I'm a demand for it because you guys are paying me for this, but you haven't been a demand for it.
So, grounded from the heart, right? Not trying to come from the head, not trying to logic, and say what you want and lead with this, as Cynthia would say, this expectation that she can be a phenomenal woman in the world and in your relationship, and she can step into that place, but you don't have a judgment of her in the moment if she does or not. It's a belief that she can, and a constant belief that she can. So Walters, unmute yourself again. And if you were to ground yourself, I feel like I breathe from my belly. I push my belly out, and I come from my legs. I'm like heavy in my legs. And I'm just speaking from the heart of what I want for us in relationship within 3 sentences. Okay, so talk to us from your heart in 3 sentences of what you would like with your relationship.
Oh, that's a tough one, Jeff.
No, pause. Okay, no.
Yeah.
No, you just wasted one of your sentences, okay? So we're going to start again. You're going to come from your heart, and you're going to say, I'll share this right here, the 3-sentence hero sandwich, if you haven't seen this. Okay, it's what you want in your life, what you would like with her, and what you want for yourself. Okay, from your heart, what do you want in your life and with her and from yourself? Ready, go.
What I want in my life, it's an intimate, connected relationship, and I want that for my wife. My wife should be able to, for my wife, so she should be able to feel vulnerable with me, and to feel confident enough to tell me what she wants and what she would like. And
okay, pause right there. That's 3 sentences.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Now you sound super tentative and unsure of yourself, right?
Yeah.
You feel that probably, I'm sure, right?
I do. Yeah.
Okay. Let's put a magical bubble around you where everything you say is going to magically be true in the next 10 seconds, in the next 20 seconds. Just magical bubble, like Walt Disney comes down and puts a bullshit magic bubble around you, and no one's going to judge you, and you can't be wrong. Okay. Say it for us again. And your life is everything that's not her. So your life is everything else, like your children and your career, what you want with her and what you want for yourself. So 3 sentences again. There's no judgment and 100% confidence, right? Let's give it another try. Ready, go. What do you want for your life, her and you?
Yeah, for my life, I want to have happy father and husband, and bring my kids up in a grounded environment and bring them up in the most comfortable way and be successful career-wise. For her, I want an intimate, connected relationship with her that is given freely, both from both of us, without any resistance or reservations. And for life, I just want to be happy.
Yeah. What do you want for yourself? What's your goal in your own life for you?
My goal in my own life, I think, is 4 things: to be a good father, husband, successful at my job, but also be healthy.
Yeah, be physically and emotionally and mentally healthy and spiritually healthy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, good. So what would it feel like to be spiritually and emotionally and physically healthy? Tell me what that would feel like. Give me some strength here. What would that feel like?
Emotionally healthy and spiritually healthy is not being triggered by what is going on around me, by how people react.
So say it, I'm gonna interrupt you, Walter. Say it in the positive. Yeah. What is it in the positive? What does it feel like to be emotionally and spiritually healthy?
To be confident, feel confident in myself, in what I am doing, and in my actions, and in the way I perceive myself.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. Good. I'm going to press pause for a second, Walters. That was good. So this is the start, right? Like, we're all at different places. Walter's probably like, oh my God, Jeff's giving me such a hard time. So Cynthia, let's give Walter some feedback, please. So how do you feel that he's progressing, and how do you want him to have the mindset to lean into his life here in a concise, clear, calm way, in a way that he owns his own value as a man? Give him some feedback, please.
my gosh. Walters, when you're owning who you are and the value of you and the worth of you, you have the warmest, most grounded energy. I love your transition from being in a place of uncertainty of, is it okay to want this? Like how is she going to respond to the shift into this is what I want and this is what I'm willing to stand for. And you had a question about, so she's starting to move toward me, but she doesn't quite know how to do it. You don't have to figure that part out for her. You get to be that warmth, that solid energy, and she will find the ways to lean back in. And I know that because I feel myself wanting to lean toward you the more that you own the worth and wonder that you are.
Yeah, I love it. Walters, we're going to press pause. Thank you, Cynthia, so much. We've got two other men to get to today. We've got Pat and then Jack. I saw Jack raise his hand too. So Pat, yeah, give us what you'd want to share. And Walters, we definitely would love you on the show again and come in the forum, man. We're here for you every single day, but thanks for sharing. So Pat, yeah, come on in, please.
Yeah, so Jeff, in my case, it's kind of like Dennis's situation. It's too late for this relationship. It's just not going to happen. She's moved on emotionally to another guy who, in my honest opinion, seems a little better suited for her than I am. I know that sounds crazy, but so I'm not going to be able to use this work to salvage that relationship, but I am going to use this work to coach my future self. Because just, being, watching your show for the past few weeks, coaching with you, texting with Cynthia, I had no idea what I didn't know. And you said it several times on the show, Jeff. You said that a lot of us, our fathers never taught us how to do this. We thought we could just do our own path. I thought I could just, show love the way I show love, which is, doing nice things. But I didn't have any boundaries whatsoever. I was trapped in this, hurricane of just trying to please her all the time, just because I loved her. And I think that more than anything else, that's probably what drove her away. I wasn't paying attention to her emotional needs. I was just doing the things I thought were the right things to please her. So what I've learned here is that is the wrong way to go. You got to have boundaries. You got to be centered and grounded, have a lot of self-respect and a lot of confidence. That more than anything else is going to bring her closer, or whoever the next her is. So that's been very valuable to me.
Thank you, Pat. You said something that was profound. You said that you tried to just please her instead of actually fulfilling her emotional needs.
Right.
Like, wow, that just like hit me. I got chills when you said that. Like, because I didn't know, and guys are like, aren't those the same things? Aren't those the same? What she's asking for, aren't those the same things as her emotional needs, Pat?
Yeah, I thought so, but apparently I was dead wrong.
Cynthia, jump in, please. How are those? Yeah, Pat, I love that. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. And you like owned yourself, man. You're like ready to move forward, take the next step in your life and fucking, have version 2.0 or 3.0 or whatever version we're on, right, guys? Whatever version we're on, moving into the world. I love it, Pat. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Cynthia, jump in. Please give us your thoughts. And then I want to open up. There was one or two other men that had their hand up, and then I think maybe put them down. We still want to give them an opportunity to come in today. So Cynthia, give us some feedback on what she thinks that she wants or what she's saying that she wants and for us to please her versus her actual emotional needs, like you share with her pieces of the pie. With her pieces of the pie. Share with us the difference between those things, please.
To me, that's why you and your masculine energy is so incredibly important, because I know when you're doing your work, you're not paying attention to like a woman saying, I need this at like a level 1 level. You are feeling in the depth of you and wanting to champion what she's truly desiring, what she's truly needing. And, an example of that might be, let's say there's an issue that comes up with like you and a woman in your life, and it's about money or gifts. And she's like, oh, you don't bring me flowers, you don't do this, you don't do that. And what she's truly wanting beneath that is not that surface materialness. It's to be seen, to know that, she has worth in your life, that who she is and her feminine energy and how she lights up and how she's in her emotional state, it actually is significant for your world. It makes an impact. It brings you light and energy. And so I think it can be so confusing to hear this, but be feeling something deeper. But I have full and complete trust that when men are doing this work, they are always responding to the deepest desire. And Jeff, I experience that with you often. Like, even if there's something that comes up where I'm like, that hurt a little, or I'm not sure where that boundary came from. And then I feel into it and I'm like, oh my gosh, you are always championing something that I want deeply that I may not even be knowing. And I trust that and love the growth and the hope of that.
Thank you. Yeah, Pat, how does that hit you?
Yeah, that's good feedback. When I watch a show, and when you and I are coaching, I always feel a little bit of a pang of regret that I didn't know this before. And just like Dennis said, if I'd have known this a couple of years ago, it may or may not have saved my marriage, but my gut says it would have. Because I am the classic nice guy, I admit it. I'm gonna go read that book. But I wasn't really connecting with her the way she needed to be connected with. I was just doing things that I thought were masculine and chivalrous. And I wouldn't just buy her stuff to buy her stuff. I would buy her stuff or provide experiences or just do whatever I could to make her life a little nicer based on my judgment. But I didn't take the time to really listen to what it was that would fulfill her. Now I know I should have done that. And so now I'm getting this knowledge after the fact. It's a little painful, but hopefully it'll help in the future.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely know that pain that you're talking about. It's bittersweet. We have multiple feelings at the same time. Like we talked about this week on the show, you can feel good moving forward in the world, but also feel sadness and despair about the loss of the story of life. And we can have those things at the same time, right, Pat?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Thank you. But I love it. I'm going to press pause. I love it so much. If someone would like else to come in, please unmute yourself or raise your hand. In the chat, I saw that Roger said, yeah, another thing is don't be a bootlicker, right? Like that's kind of what Pat's saying, that you're not trying to just do everything that she says or everything you think to please her. That's not what she wants. Women actually don't want a man to always try to please her, right? We feel like she's on a pedestal. She feels like that we don't respect ourselves. And if we don't respect ourselves, she won't respect us. And that's a prerequisite for her being attracted to us. If she doesn't respect us, she won't be attracted to us and cannot feel in love with us. It's a huge necessity. Yeah, Jack, go for it, please. Unmute yourself.
Yeah, I just think that what I've learned from this show is that it's if you're a man, you don't have to do everything on your own. Because that's what I felt. I was like my own unique island. I had to take every challenge on by myself. And I was completely crashing and burning and with no idea what to do. And everything I did made the situation worse. But what I found out is that we need other men to be able to bounce ideas off of. And there's a lot of collective wisdom, and you're not alone. And when you tap into that collective wisdom, you can pretty much save yourself. And none of us are really born with wisdom to interact with women. I really don't think so. And I think we have to tap into that collective wisdom of the tribe.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Jack, that none of us were born with this. Absolutely. I think some guys stumble into it for a while, right? If we're younger and we kind of just don't give a shit and we're having fun in the world, and women like that kind of bad boy attitude, that's not going to be fulfilling within relationship later on, right? Or maybe later on when we calm down and then we just fall into autopilot, or what we've seen on rom-coms. Like, we're going to fall into this if we don't have a tribe of men that can be there for us when we have pains, that we can bring this to our guy friends instead of treating her like our therapist. Right? I made that mistake too. I asked her to wear too many hats. And one of those hats was that she should be my therapist, and I should be able to just dump everything on her, right? Because she's my spouse. No, that kills intimacy. That kills the desire and fire between us. So yeah, Jack, I fully agree of what you're saying. Thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it. Let's go ahead and honor our men. If you could name our men that are here and honor our men for today, we're going to wrap up our 50th episode here on a Friday.
Thank you so much for being here. And thank you for the words that you share that bring insight and vision and inspiration to others. Thank you for your realness and your power. And Walters, it was so great to hear your voice. Roger, thank you for sharing. And Rob, thanks for being here. Randy, thank you so much for your feedback. And Patrick is here. Thank you, Patrick, for always being here. You are a rock to this show. Pat, thank you for what you shared. Your insight is so powerful from the honesty that it comes from. Kevin, thank you so much. Joseph is here. Jason is here. Jason had a great quote addition in the chat about we all have different buckets of knowledge, and it's the one that we don't know that is kind of the dangerous one. And I think this show helps us put the information we need into that bucket. Dave is here. Brett is here. Brett had some wonderful feedback in the chat. Andy, Jack, thank you for sharing. So much gratitude and appreciation.
Well, Cynthia, thank you for you, and thank you for your pieces of the pie this week, the 7 pieces of a woman's pie in relationship, and we'll definitely be expounding on that ongoing in the future. So Cynthia, let's say goodbye for today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The C-Note Show has been brought to you by Great Men Move Mountains and greatmenmovemountains.com. If you're not yet on our free Facebook group, you have to be invited in. So go to greatmenmovemountains.com/Facebook and punch in your information. On our website, we have free stuff. We've got a free 45-minute audio book about how to get more love, hugs, sex, and affection in your life. We also have a free 10-day program of how to solve the #1 cause of divorce. Those are both free. You can find those on our website. Or if you want to request a consult for one-on-one coaching to kick ass as fast as possible in this way, you go to greatmenmovemountains.com/contact and fill out the information, and we'll get back with you ASAP, guys. Whether you're watching this today, right now, or 10 years from now, we're going to be here. This is our career. I've been in mental health for over a decade. We're not going anywhere here, guys. And we're going to do this show ongoing. We have plans to do this ongoing every Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time.
It's sunshine, whose body burn hot. I'ma tell you about a woman who's cold as tundra with some frozen eyes. I can tell by the way she moves that she cares.